Hello, welcome to My Life on Paper. I am Brianna, and I am so glad you're here today. I have a layout for the Crafting Dragon Design team that's on Etsy. I'm also doing a layout for Scraptember, and since it's the second, I'm using enamel dots, which is the prompt. So Crafting Dragon Designs, I've had a little break from the design team. I am back. I have not printed off one of the papers yet. So I printed off the paper, 8.5 by 11. And I'm just going to use parts of it, or a part of it, honestly. But look at this gorgeousness. It's got the pretty different colors. It's got the spiders. It's got the branches. It gives you that Halloween-y feel. I did take this paper out of my stash. I'm just going to use a little bit. The name of the collection by Crafting Dragon Designs is A Halloween Haunting, and I will have that link below, as well as the Etsy store. I used a sketch, which I'm not able to show you because it is a premium sketch. It is the May Premium Bonus number 1 sketch, and I will have all the information for Scrap-A-Sketch linked below as well. So I started off with this pattern paper in the background, the cobwebs, just in my stash. I've had it forever. And then I was going to bring in some gray to back the photos. Now I need more than just that. So I went off and pulled a complete piece of paper out of my stash and then was able to make these mats for the photos. The one on the left, because it had a border, I had to trim a little bit off. So I'm going to first measure that to see what the dimensions of it is exactly. And then I will trim this one down. It was a 3 by 4, but it's going to be and then I trimmed it to 3 by 3. Now it's a little bit shorter than that, so that they sit next to each other and they um, are the same height. And so I'm going to mat those on there, and then I will freehand just trim them down uh, to be the right length. I did flip the sketch a little bit. If you do go back and check out the sketch, if you have the subscription, you can do that. And anyway, I flipped it a little bit, but there is a subscription. It's a yearly subscription to the premium sketches, which is well worth it. And then you can use my code that is below, and then you can get 10% off your purchase. I will also have my code below for Crafting Dragon Designs, and using that in the Etsy shop will get you some money off at checkout there as well. This is going to be a pretty simple layout. It's not going to have a lot of embellishments, but it doesn't need a lot of embellishments. So I wanted to showcase, well, first the photos, and then this lovely paper. I was putting it this way. That's actually sideways. And then you can see the silhouette of the little guy up on top there with his little pumpkin. Um, I'm going to be using that. And so that's going to be uh, a good part of my layout, and I won't need much more. I do go into my stash. Oh, okay, so I should tell you here. I had 3 by 4 photos, and again, they're a little bit shorter, or a little bit, yeah, shorter and thinner, because of the mat that I trimmed off of them. But I didn't want it to go the whole length of the paper. I didn't want the picture and the mat to go the whole length of the paper. So I did trim them down just a little bit. I think these are 3.5 tall. Um, so that I could trim it off a little bit, the mat, trim it off a little bit, and it not go the whole length of the paper. What I was trying to say before is that I'm going to get a couple pocket cards that I've had for a long time, and they're kind of the perfect color orange, that dark orange of the striped paper over there. That's going to be my title and a journaling block. So these are photos of Meredith and Eliza, two of my girls, and they were carving pumpkins. The first two photos are actually of them carving, and then the next three are of the finished pumpkins, and the pumpkins sitting on the front porch there. Now that the photos are trimmed and matted, I can start putting the page together. I did look at the other piece of the paper thinking, can I use that sideways? Would it work? But I do use this striped paper to bring some more of that orange color, and that goes up on the top there. And then I'm going to overlap the photos on the left onto the photos on the right. And you're gonna see me kind of move things around here. I mean, I know where I want the background paper, so actually at this point I could probably glue that down. But I'm really now trying to figure out where I want my little silhouette, where it would make the most impact. I do want him looking into the page, so somewhere on the left-hand side. And I do want to make sure I use that space where the spider web's on the bottom. I have gone into my color box and I've gotten a couple orange things out. The things on the left-hand side you can see were from my kind of my Halloween box, iris container. And there is the pocket cards that I was saying, it's that nice dark orange color that coordinates so well with that black and orange stripe paper up there. So I've got two of them. I'm going to try to figure out what's the best way to put them, but I really like, well, I'm going to move these around in just a second. And it just works so much better because then this little guy sits on here and I didn't cut out the white space in between where his handle of his pumpkin is. So it lays over there and it kind of, you can't, it's not so obvious because it's on that white background. So I know I'm liking this. I keep thinking it's needing something more, but I'm ready to go ahead and glue everything down. So as I keep saying, I usually have an ATG gun where I can get really inexpensive refills. But when I was moving into my new scrap space recently, I found a whole bunch of adhesives I had put to the side after I got my ATG gun. And so I want to use these up. They're taking up space in a drawer in my scrap room, or I could be putting something different. So I'm going through these little refills, but I will adhere these down, and then I know I want splatters, uh, and I know I want my enamel dots for Scraptember. Oh, I should mention Scraptember too. So listed below will be the playlist for Scraptember. It is put on by the Scrappy Sisters. And we have a different prompt for each month. And this today is enamel dots. So I will be using enamel dots on the page. And I think I get, you'll see how many that you'll see them. I grabbed a couple out. Here we go. So here are my enamel dots. I'm not going to use all of them. The orange ones are very orangey, so I rule those out right away. I do have these black, off-white, I don't know, maybe they're white, and gray, and those are from Paper Studio. So I am going to use those. I have plenty of enamel dots, and I'm just going to make two clusters of them. And then I'm thinking like once I place these down, I just need some splatters and I think I'll be done. So I'm going to get my White Delusions linen spray that I'm going to just splatter around. This, I'm getting to the bottom of this bottle. It's the first bottle of spray that I've ever gotten close to completing. Oh, so I'm printing my pictures on my Epson PictureMate 400 and I have matte paper and it actually this wiped off the matte paper really nice. I don't know how that works, but okay, get more white splatters on there. The white splatters weren't so important on the beautiful paper with the printed paper with the spiders, just because it's got so much texture and dimension there, but I did want to make sure to get it uh, on the spider web page as well as the straight page and then a little bit on the orange cards as well. Then I'm going to go away and I'm going to come back and go, you know what? It really needs something more. And I talked to my daughter and I said, hey, what do you think? And she said, well, it needs a little something more on the top and, up here and then off to the right a little bit. So these are part of the Halloween haunting collection, the frames. And so I'm just going to take this one and cut it in half. First, I trim it out a little bit better. I kind of did a quick first trim. I'm going to cut them in half and tuck them. And then you see the cute little silhouette of the girl on the left-hand side. She's facing the other direction. Now, this is not part of the haunted Halloween haunting collection. However, it was one of the freebies on the Facebook group. So every Friday there are some freebies. I'll have the Facebook group linked below as well, and it's a good way to try out uh, the printables and see how easy it is to use and see how cute they are. I've used a lot of the florals for my daughter's wedding, and I will be using more of those. Um, Janine, the owner of Crafting Dragon Design, is going to be doing a monthly release, so you will see on the Facebook group everybody using the new collection each month that they come out. So that'll be fun. All right, so I had already pulled off some of the enamel dots. I knew I wanted to nestle that little girl in there, so I had to move two of the enamel dots, which works fine. I just glued them because I peeled them off. And then I get the frame on the one side and the frame on the other side. And then my daughter Meredith also said, how about some like metallic splatters? So I'm going to go and get my Dina Wakley gilt. It's a gold color. And I will splatter that over the white, and that's gonna complete the layout for me. But I just think those silhouettes are the cutest little thing. So they work perfectly on there. All right. Well, until next time, may your memories always have a home on paper.